Uh, First of all, I would like to welcome all our participants to today's workshop. Today's workshop is about a practical approach to teaching grammar. This workshop will be presented by one of our distinguished colleague, Mr. Mohammad Adil. As you know, Mr. Mohammad Adil, he is well qualified. He is CELTA qualified as well as Delta qualified, and he's expert in this field. So I don't want to take much time. I would like to request Mr. Mohammad Adil to present this workshop. Mr. Mohammad Adil is to you now, please. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much indeed. Can you hear me? Thank you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you, Brother Mohsin, for sparing time for me here. And also, I'd like to thank Dr. Isa Asidi for giving me a chance to participate and present here. And also, thanks goes to Mr. Costello as well. He allowed me to use his Zoom account, by the way. Well, first of all, I would like to extend a warm welcome to you all. And I'm very delighted to be here this evening. And well, this is a workshop, but of course, it does not mean I'm your trainer in a real sense, not exactly like that. As far as I know, many of you here are, I should say, unquestionably far more conversant with what it means to teach grammar in a practical sense. Well, the topic is here crystal clear. The purpose of this workshop is to kind of, you can say, brush up on our knowledge about grammar teaching and unlearn some wrong practices, you can say, unlearn some wrong practices when it comes to teaching grammar. So here it's all about a practical approach to teaching grammar. All right. So as this is a workshop, you have a task, I'm sorry, here to do. And I'm not going to let you stay passive. It's like a warm-up activity. Just a minute. Yes. All right. Can you see my slide before we start slide? I think you can see
Yes.
that. Yes.
Yes, we can see. Yes.
Great. Very good. So here, I would like you to take 2 or 3 minutes to think about what these 4 professors or teachers are doing exactly. Please think about it for 2 or 3 minutes, then raise your hand and share your ideas, please. Thank you. All right. Yes, Brother Mohsin has to say something, perhaps. Go ahead, please.
Yes. Uh, yes, as far as this is first of all, thanks for sharing this slide with us, and this is a wonderful slide. I think the situation C is the is the practical approach here. So I like the means idea here in the as you have mentioned in here, situation number C, that teacher comes and he says, "How are you doing? Good, great." So I think this approach would be, as far as I am concerned, I like this approach, as you mentioned in the number.
Fantastic. Great. So, well, you think the teacher C is doing a good job, you think? The better than the other 3. All right.
Inductive approach, I think.
Inductive
Yeah.
approach. All
Yes.
right. And anyone else has to say anything? Okay, Dr. Omar Abdullah. Dr. Abdullah, please.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, please.
Thank you for the nice workshop you are presenting. I guess number C is one of the best ways to teach grammar through a communicative approach, because here the teacher used a dialogue or a conversation, and in the conversation there is one of the speaker um, used one of the verbs incorrectly, and he is corrected in the next reply by the second speaker. He said, I take, or I took. He said, sorry, I took. So I guess communicative approach is one of the best ways that I like to teach grammar.
Fantastic.
So number C for me is the best way, I guess.
Fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. So
You're
I
welcome.
think we can move on if you have nothing, if anyone else wants to say anything, or if not, we can continue, I think. So I do agree with both of you. And what about B? What do you think of B? What's your opinion about B?
As far as I'm concerned, B might be useful. Yes.
Yes,
Can you see?
B.
Good. Yeah.
Yes, B. The teacher B is using guided discovery approach or text-based
Yes.
presentation. He's giving
Right,
a text,
right.
and they have to the students have to discover the underlying rule and distinguish between the past tense verbs and the present tense, present verbs in the present tense. I think D is, sorry, not D, B. B is good as well. So A and D, teacher A and D are using kind of traditional method, just simply explaining the rules, which might go over their heads, students. Okay, let's start the presentation right now. So this particular workshop includes, here you can see here, whether grammar is a skill or not, and the reason we should teach grammar, and common impression about our general impression about grammar, and some wrong practices I'm going to focus on, and some quotes by some people, writers, authors, famous scholars. And main slide is the teaching. This part is the main part of the presentation, this workshop, the teaching of grammar. And some references, some books you think you should read, worth reading, some books worth reading when it comes to teaching grammar. All right, so what do you think? I'm not asking you, just I'm asking myself, is grammar a skill? Answer is no. So what exactly, what on earth is grammar? Grammar is not exactly a skill. It comes under language systems, and it all has to do with knowing, knowledge, you can say. So under language systems, there are 5 language systems, we can say: phonology, lexis, vocabulary, you can say, on grammar, function, and discourse. And language skills are different, you know very well. There are 4 skills altogether, and grammar is one of the systems. It all has to do with how the language works, how the language functions exactly. So why should we teach grammar? That's the question. Very simple. And if someone knows grammar, if a student has proper knowledge of grammar, he should be able to correct himself, and it will improve. It will make them more confident, you can say, and it will make them write and speak, use correct sentences, you can say, or produce correct sentences, you can say, while speaking and writing. So our common impression about grammar, you can say misconception, I would rather say misconception about grammar. Is my voice still clear? Hello?
Yes, doctor, you may proceed.
Oh, Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much. I was kind of confused. Some teachers believe that grammar exercises are monotonous, and some teachers think, it's not moving. What's wrong? Okay. So here you can see, I hate to read the slides. You just have a look at here, at this. Some students believe that, grammar is boring, difficult, or monotonous, or rules are quite confusing, right? So I did a survey here with 3 statements and with check boxes on the right-hand side. And the result is surprising, overwhelming. And students did that, actually. And here, interestingly, very few students checked the first one. Most of them think that grammar, whether grammar is boring or interesting, depends on the way the teacher handles the teaching of grammar. And very few checked the first box, by the way. So that was the result. It's not exactly research, a kind of a short survey I did. Well, let's move on. All right, so what is the truth about grammar? So the thing is that grammar is not boring at all. This is a misconception, by the way. So actually my lesson is boring. If grammar is boring, it means there's a problem with my lesson. The way I teach grammar is problematic. The way I teach grammar is boring. All right then. So let's take a look at the next slide here. Here we can see some wrong practices. Here you can see the teacher is giving instructions here. So apparently you can say the teacher is doing the right job, you can see, but unfortunately, without instruction checking questions, and which is why students can be a bit confused about what exactly they have to do. Right, but this particular thing has nothing to do with only grammar. It applies to all of the subjects, not just grammar. And this one you can see here, the teacher is giving feedback without concept checking questions. That's a problem. He's simply just getting to know the answer from the students. And here he's explaining the use of be verb, and regardless of their understanding and without any demonstration. So demonstration is much better than explanation when it comes to teaching grammar. Let's take a look at some scholarly quotes here. I'm not going to read the quotes here. You can read, please. All right, let's take a look at the other one. All right, let's move. It's all clear, I think. What we should do is make our grammar lessons realistic, more meaningful, and more effective. So here we need to engage learners, and we have to use simple and easy explanations and instructions. It has to be easy, and we need to be flexible and we should avoid trying a single method. So most common method, unfortunately, is lecturing. That's what we have to get rid of. Anyway, so we need to make grammar lessons realistic, meaningful, and effective by doing these 3. Okay, then let's move on. Possible lesson plan shapes from International House here. So first one is practice, exactly, language practice, which is not my favorite at all. Test, teach, test. First of all, there should be a warm-up task, for example. We can activate their schemata. After that, you give a test without explaining to them what exactly you are teaching. After that, explain and teach. Last of all, you give another test to check their understanding. Last of all, feedback. This is a structure. Second one is my favorite. And third one is good as well. Practice after clarification, text-based presentation. For example, you can give a text and that from which they can work out the underlying rules. And it can be a reading task or listening task. After that, after the task, we can highlight the target language with the grammar focus, actually. For example, reading text can include a story here through which you're teaching past simple tense and past progressive, for example. And then after that, highlighting, you can clarify the target language, then practice. It can be oral practice, no problem at all. Well, there can be a question of completing the syllabus here. We are this academic teaching, by the way, so we have to cover the syllabus, deal with exercises, cover the exercises. So when can we deal with speaking or extra practice? That's the question. Well, we can spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes on that. You can make groups, you know very well, better than I do. And here you can see lead-in and warm-up task. And it is very essential to start a class with a lead-in task without jumping straight to the book. This is problematic, by the way, and this is very, very daunting, discouraging, and it can create a kind of fear among the learners. Today, I'm going to teach you past tense. It doesn't make any sense to me. So we can start here. The teacher is teaching the present simple tense. Instead of saying, I'm going to teach you present simple tense today, look at the structure. You can start the class this way. Tell your partner 3 things you do in your free time. As you can see here. Let's move on. For intermediate level students, so you can say level 3, level 4, for example. Noun clauses, you can teach this way. My friend is tired. Can you guess what he did yesterday? You're focusing on the expression what he did. After this session, you can explain, and we can explain to our students what exactly. So this can be a lead-in task when you want to teach noun clauses. And let's move on. Present simple again. So conversation activity, you can say student, you can split the class into 2, A and B. They can talk in groups or in pairs. In this case, a pair, I think. And the past simple tense, elementary. I played tennis yesterday. What did you do? You can ask this question. They can tell. They can talk to each other. And here, demonstration is 1,000 times better than explanation. Well, after an activity, you can go for explanation. Your robust and explanation with excruciating details, which can be very, very frightening for the students, low-level students in particular. So demonstration is better. You can nominate some students. You can do it exactly. I'm happy, he's happy, we are happy, and they are happy. This is better, 1,000 times better than explaining on the whiteboard, the structure exactly. Well, the present simple tense, elementary, she's teaching here. She wrote the times here and some useful expressions. For example, the teacher is asking, what does Mona do at 8? Students can say she takes breakfast. And she made a mistake. She take breakfast. The teacher says she takes breakfast. And they're correcting themselves. And present simple elementary again. Now, who can write the next one? Nominating students is a good idea. At least they get involved in, they can feel that they're involved in doing something instead of sitting at the bench daydreaming about a football match. All right, so here we go. And this game can help a lot when you want to teach past simple tense, irregular verbs. This is called word maze. And they can travel through the table here, maze, go through the irregular verbs only. This can help. You can design that anytime. It takes 5 minutes maximum. And guided discovery is my favorite. And it's an inductive teaching method as well. And you can give them a task through which they can discover the underlying rules. Right. For example, here last night I saw a burglar. It was a story, for example, through which they are learning past simple and past progressive. So here, second conditional drilling can help. It's the most difficult structure, second conditional sentence. Oh, third conditional is the most difficult one, I'm sorry. Let's take a look at this useful references here. It's a very good book when it comes to teaching grammar, just for the teachers. It's a nice book. And this book is available at Jarir Bookstore. I bought one from there, and it's available. And you can focus on this particular part B, section 13, 14, 15, 16 are for us, and can help you, help us know how to teach grammar in the most effective way. And this book is useful as well. It covers everything, but you can focus on these two chapters, describing language and teaching the language system. These two chapters can help. And Jeremy Harmer, it is a new edition. I have the old one. I bought from Dubai in 2010. You can have the new one. It is not available at Jarir. It's available in Al Khobar. There's a bookshop, I think. Or you can order from Amazon, no problem. And this is a new version. I have the old version. This is a third edition. It's a good one. And you can read chapter 12, grammar. All right. So last of all, we can say it's the teacher who can make everything effective and meaningful by doing three things. You have to engage the learners. You have to make the explanation simpler and easier, as easy as possible, we can say, and you can apply different methods, different techniques to remove the monotony, make it interesting, by the way. Okay, thank you so much indeed. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mohammad Adil, for a wonderful workshop. And it was, really very interesting and knowledgeable workshop. If any one of you have any question, our participants, if you have any question or any feedback, please feel free to speak, please. Any question, any suggestion. Thank you
No,
very
thank you,
much.
Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you. Mhm.
I would like to
Would
thank you
like to say
again.
something?
Yes, I would like to thank you all again.
Please. Thank you.
And without your presence, this wouldn't have been possible. And alhamdulillah, thank you so much indeed, especially the participants and the moderator, Mr. Mohsin Reza Khan, for sparing me time. I think you're still in your office right now, I guess. And also Mr. Hassan Costello for allowing me to use this Zoom, and Dr. Isa Sidi, to be exact, specifically for allowing me to present today. And everyone, thank you so much indeed. So, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you very much. Thank you.